Howdy tennis fans, thanks for tuning in. Today we are talking about the forehand and the role of the non-dominant arm. Now before you go anywhere, I know there's 1,000 videos on this particular subject, but we're going to reinforce some really important fundamentals, and I'm going to share an exercise that's going to help make sure that you're doing this correctly. See, recently I've got back into playing, and I don't really know why, but in the course of 3 outings, I just was mishitting a bunch of balls. For you guys that follow the channel, you know, I'm pretty Western in grip. I get pretty loopy. I've got a pretty big swing path on the forehand. And so sometimes when creating this RPM, the big top, and trying to go for a big heavy ball, it gets away from me. And it was just a moment to where I realized that I was pulling off the ball predominantly with the chin. If you're thinking about keeping the head still, that's a great tip. That's something to keep reminding yourself. But sometimes it's the non-dominant arm. And for me, I was accelerating without stabilizing the left side of my body. So I want to share what I'm talking about with you all today. So let's just get a quick review. So your non-dominant arm, what should it be doing? Well, on the forehand, it's responsible for coiling, right? You want to take the racket back with the non-dominant arm. Now you want to be careful that you don't take it back too far. I know Carlos Alcaraz and some of these big forehands, they're taking the arm all the way back before the arm straightens out. But that's Carlos Alcaraz. If you can be Carlos, be Carlos. But that's really difficult to time. Ideally, for most of us, unless you're really advanced in that and you're comfortable with that, you really want to take the racket back and allow the plane to break as the racket starts to pass your dominant shoulder. So you're still getting coiled and you're still working through, but the arm isn't getting so bent. So rule number 1 is coiling. Role number 2 for the non-dominant arm is actually stabilization. It's stabilizing the left side of your body. So part of acceleration, and let's be clear on this, power and topspin, excessive topspin, right, what we see at very, very high levels is all the byproduct of racket head speed. Racket head speed is king. You've got to the more racket head speed, the bigger the ball. But the racket head speed is also part of the left side, for me as a righty, my non-dominant side, stabilizing. So as the left arm is kind of holding through, as I accelerate and get into the lag, right? So chest opens, here I am in the lag. This left arm, my non-dominant arm, stabilizes the non-dominant side so that the racket then speeds up. And now what happens in the follow through, it depends what kind of stroke or what kind of ball you're hitting, if you're hitting high and heavy, if you're hitting a short angle, if you're hitting flat. But a lot of times it's just stylistic differences, right? If you look at Kyrgios and some, Federer, sometimes, they're finishing below the shoulder. And then you have like the Dominic teams and the Rafas that are finishing much higher. But regardless of where the racket's finishing, the left side has always slowed down and then it's finishing with the racket. All right, so if it's down here, the non-dominant hand is finishing with the racket. Up here, it's finishing with the racket. And then occasionally you will see where the arm kind of goes back and it's a little bit more stretched out. For recreational players, I don't advise that, right? You want to make sure that you're kind of working as a unit. But if the left side, non-dominant side, doesn't slow down, if it doesn't stabilize, what happens is the swing happens too quickly and you end up opening your non-dominant side and it gets away from you. And that's what was happening with me. My head was moving because, quite frankly, my non-dominant side was just jerking it around. I was coming around really fast. But fortunately, this is something that we work on, especially with the junior players who are trying to knock the covers off the ball, and I was able to fix it relatively quickly. So what we do with the juniors is that we give them a tool. And the tool that we like to use are just these rubber balls, right? And they come in a bunch of different sizes, so depending on the size of the hand. But what we ask them to do is, when they set up for the forehand, is keep the palm down, all right, and get the ball out to the side of their body. If you want to be Karatsev and start with the hand up, that's fine. That's a style thing. I think palm up has a tendency to pull this way a little bit easier than being palm down. But what holding the ball does is gives you awareness to your non-dominant arm. So as you're going to hit that forehand, as the ball is coming, you're really thinking about what the non-dominant arm is doing through the stroke. And so once they're ready to hit, because it'd be really difficult to play a match holding a ball, we ask them to pretend like they're holding the ball, all right, and spreading the hand out. Now, if you spread your fingers out when you're ready to hit, it's almost impossible to jerk the arm too early, right? You're engaged, the hand is engaged, but not enough tension that it's disrupting the stroke. But the fingers are out, arm is engaged, and then it puts this quiet awareness to what the non-dominant arm is doing. So the palm goes out, fingers spread, and from here, we're hitting the ball. All right, and this allows for optimal performance. Bigger topspin, bigger power, but controlled. Because it doesn't matter how big you hit the ball if you can't control it. So make sure you're putting awareness to this non-dominant arm, and next time you get out there, I think you'll be really surprised by the results. All right, quick and easy today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave some comments down in the comment section. Maybe share with a friend that this would be helpful too, and I'll see you next time. Take care.